We are in the home stretch of the Colorado legislative session, and lawmakers tonight have a late night ahead at the state capitol. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Shannon Ogden.
And I'm Jessica Porter. Democrats are trying to restore a lot of power lost in the biggest affordable housing bill this year.
Denver 7's Colette Bordelon been at the Capitol all day. She is still there tonight, listening to hours of testimony about the land use bill. Colette.
The goal of this bill, guys, is to help Coloradans who feel they're being priced out of the place that they love. But while it was in the Senate, there were several amendments made to it, leaving some feeling like the legislature and this legislation just lost its teeth entirely. So now the goal in the House, which has been hearing hours of testimony inside of that committee hearing, is to try and restore some of that power that Democrats feel was lost.
Realizing the American dream is really important to me.
If you ask many of the people in this Capitol committee hearing during the last week of the legislature, that's the point of Senate Bill 213.
Having unattainable affordable housing is plaguing our state.
House sponsor Eman Judah calls the legislation a comprehensive plan for Colorado's future when it comes to land use.
Folks that want to live in the communities where they work are unable to do that.
After amendments made in the Senate, the goal of advocates in the House is restoring a major part of the bill, that local governments would not be allowed to restrict zoning to only single-family housing in areas, creating the chance for denser development.
Huge bill that's mandating things on local governments, but you're not dealing with some of the real issue, which is impeding affordable housing.
Representative Rose Puglisi, who's on the committee, says this top-down approach is not the solution to affordable housing.
One statewide solution to a Denver metro area problem is not really what's good for the whole state.
That's how many cities feel across Colorado.
We just don't have any room for more density. We're infrastructure poor.
The mayor of Breckenridge, Eric Mamula, spoke on behalf of the town and the Colorado Association of Ski Towns.
Having tools for all of us to treat this and handle it differently in our own communities is really the way to do this. Statewide assessment is the first step of that.
He would rather see an examination of housing issues and how they differ throughout Colorado.
Now I'm in school to be a nurse practitioner, so final step of the journey.
But Mackenzie Kemp believes in the bill, especially when she has to drive 30 minutes to and from work every day.
I think it's important that healthcare workers are encouraged to stay in the Denver area. There's a growing need for nurses and other nursing personnel to care for the growing population.
Do you feel like housing is the last thing stopping you from achieving the quote-unquote American dream?
It's just expensive, and a lot of people are having to move to be able to afford that American dream.
Guys, remember, this is a massive bill that still has to completely clear the House and head back to the Senate before it could even think of becoming a law here in Colorado.
And Colette, there's already been so much back and forth. Our sponsors worried the same amendments will happen again in the Senate and there won't be time to get this bill to the governor's desk.
Jessica, that's exactly what I was thinking. What if the Senate just makes the same amendments that they're working to try and change again here in the House? But sponsors in the House say they're working closely with their Senate side of things to make sure whatever version they adopt and send back to the Senate is something they would actually feel good about passing out of the Senate again. I just poked my head in. This is hour almost 7 of testimony right now from witnesses. Lawmakers no doubt have a long night ahead of them. Hopefully we have word on a vote here soon for you guys. Live at the Capitol, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
All right, Colette Bordelon burning the midnight oil tonight. Thanks, Colette. And ahead of tonight's hearing, supporters of the bill rallied at the state capitol. The bill's sponsors and environmental and housing advocates asked lawmakers to pass this legislation, which is aimed, they say, at stronger land use and zoning laws.